Suppose you're thinking about buying a car from your friend. You look the car over and you decide on the maximum price you're willing to pay. You don't tell your friend, of course, but you decide that the maximum that you're willing to pay for the car is $3,000. Your friend, on the other hand, doesn't tell you, but he knows that the minimum price he's willing to accept for the car is $2,000. Suppose you offer your friend $2,700 for the car. You have paid $300 less than the maximum you're willing to pay. We say that you have a consumer surplus of $300. Your friend, on the other hand, has received $700 more than the minimum he was willing to accept. We say that he has a producer surplus of $700. Consumer surplus is an extra amount of money that consumers were willing to pay but did not have to pay. Producer surplus is an extra amount of money that producers receive beyond the minimum required to entice them to sell the product in the first place. Keep in mind that the surplus that we're discussing here is not the same as the surplus we discuss when we talk about surplus, shortage, and equilibrium. We'll talk about those in another video. Producer surplus is not the same as profit, but it is proportional to profit. If producer surplus rises by $1, then producer profit has also risen by $1. If producer surplus falls by $1, then producer profit has fallen by $1. So the change in producer surplus is the same as the change in producer profit. Consider the happiness a person obtains from consuming a product. We call the happiness utility. When a person goes out and buys a beer, the person obtains happiness when he consumes the beer and incurs sadness when he pays for the beer. Think about the net happiness the consumer has gained after consuming and paying for the beer. The dollar value of that net happiness to the person is the person's consumer surplus. When a consumer freely hands his money over to a producer in exchange for a product, and the producer freely hands the product over to the consumer in exchange for the consumer's money, both the consumer and the producer walk away better off. Consumer and producer surpluses are a formal measure of by how much they are better off. We call the total amount by which consumers and producers are both better off market surplus. Economists use surplus analysis to measure by how much people are better off after an exchange.